Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and today I'm here to do 10 horror movies from the 1980s. So we're going to be showcasing and quickly talking about 10 movies from each year of the 1980s in terms of horror. This is a mixture of some popular titles and some not so popular titles. And this is actually a video response to J Superawesome, or Jack, and if you're not subscribed to him, which I'm sure a lot of you aren't, because he is criminally underrated, I highly recommend you check him out and subscribe. He's a great horror YouTuber, so I'll leave a link to his channel in the description box below. He came up with this idea, awesome idea, and I definitely wanted to do a video response. So yeah, we're going to start at 1980 and work my way down to 1989, so let's get started. Alright, so first up from 1980 we have Humanoids from the Deep, or it's also known as Monster, as you can see here on the cover. This is the alternate title and I absolutely love this artwork. This is an absolutely awesome creature feature from 1980, so if you haven't seen this one I definitely highly recommend it. Definitely one of my favourite 80s creature features. Next up from 1981 we have The Monster Club, and this is a pretty underrated horror anthology. It's really good, it's a lot of fun, and I love the wraparound story in this one. It's all centred in a horror themed, kind of gothic themed nightclub, which is pretty awesome. And this has a pretty good cast, including Vincent Price and Donald Pleasence, so yeah, really good horror anthology, The Monster Club. Next up from 1982 we have the classic slasher Pieces. This is the Arrow video release with pretty awesome artwork. This is great. This is definitely one of my favourites. It's pretty cheesy in parts, but I do like the storyline, and it has some absolutely iconic set pieces in terms of the kills. So that's Pieces. Next up from 1983 we have the slasher classic Sleepaway Camp, definitely one of my all-time favourites. I love this movie, it has really good characters, great camp setting, some good kills, and a very unforgettable ending, so that's Sleepaway Camp. Next up from 1984 we have the Stephen King classic Children of the Corn. Always been a big fan of this. I love the whole idea around Isaac coming to town and managing to convince all the children within Gatlin to slaughter all the adults. Really creepy. That's Children of the Corn. Next up from 1985 we have the George A. Romero classic Day of the Dead. Had to mention this one for 1985. It's an amazing zombie film. It's my favourite zombie film of all time and an absolute classic within the genre. So that's Day of the Dead. Next up from 1986 we have Slaughter High, another really awesome and fun slasher. Everything from the main character of Marty getting revenge at a high school reunion. This one has a pretty cool setting, some really good and varied kills, and I really love Marty's theme song. So yeah, that's Slaughter High. And from 1987 we have The Gate. I've always considered this to be really underrated. It doesn't get near the attention that it deserves. This has always been one of my favourites. It's really good. It's kind of a more kid-themed horror film, but it is fantastic, and it's definitely got a really awesome 80s vibe to it. So yeah, that's The Gate. Next up for 1988, this was a no-brainer. Had to go with Child's Play for a few reasons. One, this is absolutely awesome. It's a classic. And this was the first horror movie that I ever saw many years ago when I was a young child. So this one holds a special place in my heart, and I still absolutely love it to this day. Absolute classic. So that's Child's Play. And for 1989 we're going to go with Brian Usner's Society. What a experience of a movie this was. This Arrow release was the first time that I'd ever seen the film, and it is very different and unique. But I had an absolutely great time with this film, especially the gore. From a gore standpoint, this is some of the best gore that I have ever seen, especially the ending sequences. An insane amount of gore and body horror, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, that's Society. Okay, so there you go. That was my list of 10 horror movies from the 1980s, so one horror film from each year. Great idea, Jack, and I really enjoyed doing a response to this. And guys, if you also feel like doing a response to this, that would be awesome. If we could get this around the horror community, that would be pretty cool. There's a ton of great horror movies from each year of the 1980s, so this shouldn't be a hard list for some of you guys to come up with whatsoever. So yeah, if you guys feel like doing a response, that would be awesome. And lastly, once again, if you're not subscribed to Jack's channel, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Criminally underrated in my opinion, and definitely needs more subscribers. So yeah, if you're not subscribed to him, please go over, check him out and subscribe. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.